Hello folks, welcome to another video. This will be a Modest Monday episode. Now it's not Monday, but it will be when someone's watching this video, I'm sure. Folks, the aircraft on your screen is the Beech 18. Resplendent in a filthy livery. This is called the Haulin' Ass livery. As we say, us cultured folk down in Australia, hauling ass. Hauling ass. This is a livery that I will link to in the description. There's a little story that comes with the livery. I can't quite remember what the story is, but there's a story, and basically the livery author was trying to set the scene for us simmers, along the lines of, you found this aircraft abandoned for 30 or 40 years in some tropical island location, and you've decided to get it working, and you're now flying it, or something to that effect. Something to that effect. I just like that it's dirty, and it's a bit rough around the edges. I like that it's like me, folks. So this aircraft has received the modding treatment in recent times. This is one of those rare aircraft for me that I actually pick up after a mod is released, because the mod is available. That's how much respect I have for this particular mod. The mod I speak of is called the Denarq Twin Beech mod. There will be a link to it in the description, along with this livery. You pick up this aircraft. This is the Coronado Asobo Beech 18 that was released a while back. Currently on sale, which got me over the line. I think it was like 14 or 15 Aussie. And I thought, yep, I'll pick that up. Let me jump inside for you. I like the panel as well of this aeroplane. I like the aeroplane. It has character. That's probably... I could have summarised this whole thing and said, folks, I picked this up because it has character. That's the panel. It has a few mod cons. Like there's a bastardised GTN 750 thing here. I'll try and link to that in the description as well if I can remember all this stuff. But yeah, I like having that. And yeah, this is the Beech 18. Lovely old bird, isn't it? Hey? I think I've got a view set up down the back here. Let me try and... which one is it? Is it this one? There we go. How's that, hey? And what else works in here? Now this works without the mod, the table, I think. Those seats look like they've seen a bit of use. Have a look at that. Have a look at the mould on that. If I owned an aeroplane, this is what the interior would look like. Actually, it probably wouldn't have seats. It'd probably have little sort of what do you call it, stations or restraints for cages, so that I could transport some feathered friends, and maybe some dog beds as well. That'd be more... oh, that just looks ordinary. That's stain. That's you don't want to ask too many questions about what happened there. What's down the back? Is this door open? Oh, it does. There you go. And what's down here? What does that say? This room not to be occupied. This room. What's that? It's like a panic room, is it? Highly applicable to my aeroplane. No, that must be the lav, I'm guessing. Now, how do I close the door? Yeah, didn't think that through, did he? Can I get in there? Close the door? What's happening here? Oh, no. I'll work out how to close the door, folks. Now, in case you're wondering where we are, if this looks like somewhere in the South Pacific, then congratulations. Top of the class it is. We're in the Solomon Islands, folks. A place called Kirikiri. And we're heading in across to Honiara, Henderson Field to be precise. This is an FS economy run. This is an aircraft that, if you're part of my FS economy group called Southern Suns, you too can fly this bird, get 100% pilot pay. We've just added it to the roster. Yeah, you can make a little bit of virtual coin. flying this one. It's based over here in the Solomons, and this part of the world, of course, is due to get the World Update treatment. So I thought, what better time than to find myself a bird and base it over here. Nice long grass strip in front of us. I have started on the runway. I can't do a ramp start here. Makes it a bit easier for me anyway. Hopefully I'll be able to keep the engines running by doing so. Yeah, I may have experienced engine loss because of the mod. It adds some realism. Bit inconvenient that at times, but anyway, I'll work out how to shut the door, folks, and we'll go flying. Alright, shall we do this thing, folks? I think we're good to go. We've got a tailwind for takeoff, of course. And what do we need to worry about? Do we need flaps in this aeroplane? I've only flown it a couple of times. I will take flap anyway. Now our T's and P's are good. We're in green. That's good. Our cylinder temp's a little bit on the low side. We need to do something about that. Probably give it some juice might help bring those up. It might do. Alright, let's do this. Mixture full rich. I'll bring that power into about 35 on the old MP, which is there. We'll call that power set. Alright. We can blow these engines up real easy, I've found, otherwise. There's 20 knots, airspeed's alive. About 40 we should see some tail popping up. There we go, tail popping up on cue. Maybe. It's trying to. A little bit of right boot to keep us straight. Fighting a bit of the breeze. And we'll kind of rotate around about here, I think. Oh, she's a heavy, sluggish old bird. We'll get some gear coming up as we depart. There we go. Yeah, she feels... She's very docile. Rather than heavy. Alright, we'll get some flaps coming up. We'll make a fairly early left-hand turn. Come back on those props a bit. Back to about 22 on the props. Probably about 32, 22, something like that. That's a quite steepish sort of turn, fella. There we go. We want to get back on track. We're pointed the wrong way. I want to head to Honiara, not bloody Papua New Guinea. Right, re-trimming. Heavy on the trim as well. And we'll kind of head, I don't know, around about a sort of 280 or something to intercept our track towards our first waypoint. Heavy on those controls. So 280 would be about there, pal. Cruise out at around about 120 or something odd knots. I know we're looking okay at the moment. Get that heading bug sort of aligned at 280. Keep us honest. We might go into a little bit of Georgie mode and get that autopilot heading hole. The autopilot being down here. There we go. The Century 3 autopilot. Flaps are up and gear is up. That's good. We better check the old T's and P's. Everything should be in the green. Green. We're all good. And no altitude selector here, so we'll kind of just get Georgie to do some nav holding. We'll select an altitude consummate with the with our track. There's the field that we left. Solomon Islands, folks. Looking forward to that world update. It's going to take into account more than the Solomons. Don't get over to this part of the world very often. And shout out, a very special shout out, if you hail from the Solomons and happen to be watching this video. Lovely part of the world, isn't it? Folks, I'll get into the cruise and then we'll bring up the mod page in case you're unfamiliar with it and go through what it does. I'm not going to do it a lot of justice. It's one of those things where I appreciate the work that the modder has done and our modding community. Shout out to you all, thank you. But I'll take you through it in case you are interested in the finer points. So we'll do that in the cruise. See you for that. Right, I settled in the cruise, 8.5, folks. Beautiful weather, albeit with a slight headwind for our trip across the Honiara today. Did I mention earlier that I wanted to go in the opposite direction to PNG? The astute viewers, of which all of you qualify in that category, would note that that's precisely in the direction that I want to go. I want to go west. That would eventually take me in the vicinity of PNG. Anyway. So, should we look at what the mod does? That's a yes. I have consensus amongst the viewing audience. Let's do that. Alright, so this is the mod page over there on the .to. I've blown things up a little bit for you in an attempt to make it easier to read for both of our sakes. So the Denarq Twin Beech is the name of the mod. There will be a link to it in the description by a user that goes by the name of Alex Bap. So what does it do? So it's a mod to enhance the local Legend 5, the Beech Model 18. And the overall objective is to provide a more realistic experience of this fantastic aircraft. So we'll just look at the main features. So new engine, landing gear and flap sounds. I have not flown this aircraft without the mod, so I don't know what the originals were like. Weight and balance has been redone. You've got a true free castering wheel. Yes, I've seen where you can set that. Persistent engine wear with the ability to view and reset it in the cockpit. New flight model with both air and ground handling. It feels pretty good to me, or it feels, should I say, authentic. Aircraft performance tuned to much more realistic numbers. Under the hood engine code with damage and wear, I can attest. And new systems modelled like all shutters or bypass, cabin heat, etc. So the flight model has a much more progressive yoke response. It feels very mellow to me, so I can only imagine what the original felt like. Takeoff's much more stable behaviour during the runway roll. I forget the rest of it. I'll ignore it. Gliding speeds and stall speeds adjusted to meet the handbook. Stall behaviours adjusted to meet the handbook. Many other small details that make each aircraft unique, such as spongy controls at low speed, yep, and adverse yaw. Landing gear behaviour is completely revised, eliminating the bouncy characteristic. Oh, I still managed to bounce the thing. Was it really bouncy? Was it to begin with? The original release? I don't know. I don't remember watching any videos on this one. Cowl flaps and landing lights have drag. Yep. I probably should look at that. I will when I finish this little segment. And gliding performance adjusted. So performance. Yep. Landing and takeoff distances much closer to real performance charts. Engine overboost at low altitude. Righto. I find that if you push it too hard, they'll blow up. Propeller friction and thrust adjusted. Carby heat sensitivity and delta temperature adjusted. Oil and cylinder temps adjusted. They do seem to be well modelled. So engine underground code. I like that. That sounds a little bit mysterious, doesn't it? Anyway, I won't read the whole lot, folks. You're probably getting a little bored at this point, but you can see that this author has done a lot of work. And remember, this is free. Labour of love stuff. So go and get it if you've got this aircraft. Or like me, go and get the mod, then buy the aircraft, particularly while it's on sale. Do yourself a favour and give the modder a bit of love. This one's pretty well rated from memory, so 4.95 out of 5. That is impressive. Hey, it's a good mod, really good mod. The Denarq Twin Beech mod. I'll see you closer to our destination, being Honiara. Alright, concluding stages, folks. 5 miles to run, we're down through 2000. Henderson Field, 12 o'clock. And it looks like we're going to be flying a left base down onto a runway that kind of orientates towards the southwest, I think. Light breeze has turned into a, yeah, more of a westerly. Very light breeze. Beautiful weather this part of the world today. Really looking forward to what Asobo can do with the world update for the South Pacific. I think it will bring more simmers to this part of the world, and that's a good thing, because our world is beautifully represented in this sim. In some places better than others, admittedly, and this region could definitely do with a spruce, that's for sure. A mixture rich, get those props full forward. We'll fly in a bleak left base. Once you get the gear down, she sort of gets very draggy. That's part of the mod, I'm guessing, and more realistic because of it. There's the field. We've got a view set up. There we go. That's a nice view. I like to approach this one at around about, between 90 and 100. Kind of feels about right, but then during the flare you got to be a little bit careful not to chop the power too early, because she wants to plan herself, and that may be where the bouncing's coming from. I'm not sure. The elevator authority gets it changes when she gets too slow, so I've just got to learn how to fly the thing, is basically what I'm saying, folks. Do as I say, not as I do. Would also work. Yeah, left base, whatever this is. I don't know, it's 2-4, something like that. We'll take final stage of hope. We're going to get a little bit high here. A little bit? Mate, you're going to be seriously high. Turn for home, pal. Get it down. Pretty long strip, but yeah, we've made a bit of a mess of that. We forgot to descend on base. That breeze held up? Nah, that breeze has totally changed. We're now going to land with a quartering tailwind, of course. Runway 24, Honiara, folks. Here we go. Let's see what we can do. About 85 knots. There we can plant this. A bit of decorum. Slowly come off that power. Might be a bit of a wheeler here. We're going to wheel it on, I reckon. Oh, it's going to be firm. Oh, he's going to bounce it a few times. How many times was that? Oh, we're going to keep it on the strip. I think we can. Dancing on the pedals. Can't see where I'm going, but I'm going to guess it's on the strip. There we go. Let's see how we go. Let's take an external. That's the only way I can tell whether I'm still on the strip. We are right. Get the flaps coming up as we roll out. Come on, flaps. They take a while to come up. Anyway, folks, that's been a Modders Monday episode featuring the Denarq Twin Beech mod here for the Beech Model 18 in the Microsoft Sim. Thank you as always for your company. Until next time, enjoy your simming, stay well, and we'll see you in a future video. Bye for now.